In this video, we'll be taking a look at 3 college football games happening on September 30th, 2022, and providing you with team picks and total picks for each one of those games. So 3 picks for each game, 6 picks in total. Welcome back to Cash Out Sports. Let's dive right into it. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and to click the bell icon to get notified as soon as these videos get released, so that you have more time to plan out your bets as we provide these videos on a daily basis. I can guarantee that you'll have all the important information that you'll need on these 3 college football games after fully watching this video. One more thing before we start. If you would like to gain access to our best exclusive betting picks to take your sports betting journey to the next level, then check out our Patreon in the link down below, where we offer anywhere from 1 betting pick a day up to 10 betting picks a day and much more. Now let's get started. San Diego State versus Boise State. The San Diego State Aztecs will be trying to pick up their first conference win of the season when they face the Boise State Broncos in Mountain West action on Friday night. The Aztecs are coming off a 17-14 win over Toledo as 2.5-point underdogs. The Broncos are coming off a 27-10 loss to the UTEP Miners as 16.5-point favorites. San Diego State is 4-3 in 7 games against Boise State. The Aztecs are 1-3-1 against the spread in their last 5 road games and 3-7-1 against the spread in their last 11 games overall. The Broncos are 1-5 against the spread in their last 6 home games and 0-4-1 against the spread in their last 5 games overall. The under is 35-16-1 in Aztecs' last 52 games overall. The under is 10-1 in Broncos' last 11 games overall. The Aztecs are 6-1 against the spread in their last 7 meetings. The underdog is 7-0 against the spread in their last 7 meetings. Boise State was embarrassed as a 16.5-point road favorite, getting ousted 27-10 by the UTEP Miners last weekend. Hank Bachmeier completed only 13 of 34 passes for 93 yards and subsequently announced his move to the transfer portal after the game. According to local sources, Talon Green will get the nod this week against the Aztecs. In the Broncos' season-opening loss at Oregon State, Green stepped in during the second quarter in place of Bachmeier following 2 interceptions and an interception. He went 19 for 28 with 155 passing yards. The Boise State program is in turmoil right now, and this is a very difficult spot to trust them just 1 week after they fired their offensive coordinator and lost their starting quarterback. The Aztecs are 6-1 against the spread in their last 7 games against the Broncos. The Boise State Broncos are going to be favored more times than not at home, but they've been shaky at best through 4 games and their offense has been non-existent. The San Diego State Aztecs aren't as good defensively as they've been in years past, but they're still an average unit, and they have a top 20 rushing offense. It's not always pretty, but San Diego State can grind games out and are still a physical team. Boise State needs to find some offense before I can lay chalk, even at home. Boise State is 122nd in total offense and 107th in scoring offense. They may not be good enough to win, but they will keep it close enough. So the San Diego Aztecs to cover the spread as underdogs is our full game side pick. The Aztecs are averaging 20.5 points per game, but they scored only 7 points in their only road game, which came against a tough Utah team. They run the ball well and they're facing a defense that has struggled against the run, so expect them to hit their average in this game. The Broncos are averaging 22 points per game. Even though they scored 30 points in their only home game, they won't score a lot of points against the Aztecs because they are dealing with changes at the coordinator position and at quarterback and don't run the ball well. The Broncos' offense has been putrid to open the season. Losing to UTEP dropped Boise State down to number 121 in the country in total offense at just 283.2 yards per game and 4.4 yards per play. Although the offense has been an absolute dumpster fire, the defense has held its own through the first 4 weeks. They give up only 20.5 points per game and 159.8 yards through the air. The total is set at a very low number for college football standards, with the opening line set at 39 points. But I expect both teams to struggle in a big way on offense. San Diego State has a hard time throwing the ball, averaging 73.8 per game, so this will be a game dominated by a ground attack. For Boise State, they have a freshman in Talon Green starting, so they will opt for a more run-centric approach. The Aztecs and Broncos played under the total in their last 3 meetings, with the Aztecs not giving up more than 14 points to a non-Power 5 opponent. They will keep the Broncos from scoring enough points to push the score past the total. Under the projected total is our full game total pick. Washington versus UCLA. A pair of teams from the Pac-12 clash on the gridiron looking to remain unbeaten as they square off in one of the most famous venues in college football. The number 15 Washington Huskies try to continue their resurgence as they travel to face the UCLA Bruins Friday night. Washington remained unbeaten as they drubbed Stanford 40-22 at home Saturday in their most recent contest, covering as a 13.5-point favorite. UCLA cruised to an easy 45-17 road victory over a hapless Colorado squad in their most recent game on Saturday. In the all-time series between the programs, the Bruins own a 41-32-2 advantage, including a 24-17 road victory in the most recent matchup on October 16, 2021. The Huskies are 4-0 against the spread in their last 4 overall and 9-4 against the spread in their last 13 Friday games. Washington is 2-5 against the spread versus a team with a winning record. Meanwhile, the Bruins are 5-2 in their last 7 overall and 7-16-1 against the spread in their last 24 in September. UCLA is 0-4 against the spread in their last 4 Friday games. This number has not shifted throughout the week, but there is a reason why the Washington Huskies are the 15th ranked program in the entire nation, while the UCLA Bruins are not inside of the top 25 programs in the country. Looking at the offenses as of late, the Huskies are scoring 44 points per game in their last 3 games, while the Bruins are averaging 38.5 points per game in their previous 2 games. The UCLA defense has been on the field too much as they have played 275 total plays, which is 73rd in Division I, and quarterback Michael Penix Jr. should be able to take advantage of them. Penix Jr. has thrown for 1,388 yards, and that is best in the nation, and has a 6-0 touchdown to interception ratio during his last 2 games. The Huskies are currently 4-0 against the spread this season, while the Bruins are just an average 2-2 against the spread thus far. This one is going to be a major clash to end the month of September and could send ripples through the Pac-12. While this is Washington's first game away from home, the Rose Bowl has not been much of a home field advantage for the Bruins. The average attendance through 3 UCLA home games is just 30,105, which is roughly 1/3 the Rose Bowl capacity. Maybe UCLA fans will show up for a conference home game against a ranked opponent, but in any case, this does not appear to be a daunting road test for the Huskies. So the Washington Huskies to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. Washington has gone over in all 4 games this season and 6 of their last 7 dating back to last year. The Huskies have seen totals of 65 points versus Kent State, 58 versus Portland State, 67 versus Michigan State, and 62 versus Stanford this season. Those games had totals of 62.5, 55, 56, and 61.5 points at kickoff, so the game against the Cardinal just squeaked over the mark. UCLA has gone over the number in 3 of their 4 games this season. The Bruins posted combined totals of 62 versus Bowling Green, 52 versus Alabama State, 63 versus South Alabama, and 62 versus Colorado in their contests. Those totals came against totals of 56.5, 62, 59, and 57 points, respectively. We saw the over hit in 4 straight meetings before combining for just 41 points last season. This number has jumped 1.5 points since the line officially opened, and these offenses should be able to do well. These drives are not ending when approaching 3rd down, as Washington is 2-9 of 5-6 of 3rd down attempts this season, while UCLA is 2-5 of 5-0 on their 3rd down tries over the course of the year. Both quarterbacks have been doing extremely well, as Michael Penix Jr. has 12 passing touchdowns to a single interception, while Dorian Thompson-Robinson has 8 touchdown passes to 1 interception. These offenses have been scoring extremely well, while the defenses are struggling in their last 2 weeks. The Huskies are giving up 25 points per game, while the Bruins are allowing 24 points per game in that stretch. The over has hit in 4 of the previous 5 games against one another. This game has the makings of a contest where both teams end up in the mid to high 30s in a shootout. Pushing this game past the number over the projected total is our full game total pick. New Mexico versus UNLV. The New Mexico Lobos take to the road Friday to play against the UNLV Rebels in an MWC game at Allegiant Stadium. New Mexico was held scoreless last Saturday by LSU when losing 38-0, and the Lobos managed only 88 yards of total offense. UNLV won its 2nd straight when defeating Utah State 34-24 on Saturday. UNLV gave up far too many yards at 421 but forced 6 turnovers by the Aggies. New Mexico is 15-36-1 against the spread in their last 52 games overall and 7-20 against the spread in their last 27 road games, while the under is 6-0 against the spread in their last 6 games following an against the spread loss. UNLV is 4-0 against the spread in their last 4 home games and 4-1 against the spread in their last 5 conference games, while the over is 14-2 in their last 16 Friday games. The UNLV Rebels will be too much on both sides of the line of scrimmage for the New Mexico Lobos on Friday. UNLV has covered the spread in 7 of the last 10 games played between the two Mountain West Conference rivals. The UNLV offense has an excellent running attack, averaging 180 yards per game, and is more than adequate through the air, averaging 259.8 yards per game passing. New Mexico has a hard time on offense, scoring an average of only 20.5 points per game. New Mexico's passing offense is nearly non-existent at 106.5 yards per game, and its running game is its strength at 130.3 yards per game, but will be up against a Las Vegas defense that is allowing an average of only 100.5 yards per game on the ground. I get the case to be made for an underdog getting a fair number of points, as a lot of folks still haven't been convinced about UNLV. However, the Rebels continue to impress despite getting disrespected left and right, and while New Mexico has fallen to some pretty heavy hitters, I just believe that this is a spot where UNLV can finally flex some muscle and get themselves a big win in conference play. So the UNLV Rebels to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. The total has finished under in 6 of New Mexico's last 7 overall, and in each of the last 6 games that New Mexico has played against a team with a winning record. New Mexico's offense generates only 20.5 points per game, but the Lobos have a better than average defense that is allowing an average of only 20 points per game. The total has finished under in 8 of UNLV's last 11 games following a win straight up. Under the projected total is our full game total pick. That's all for now, so if you have any other games you would like reviewed, then leave a comment down below with the game you would like analyzed. Subscribe to our channel, leave a like on this video, and we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. We would also love to hear your opinion on the picks presented to you in this video, whether you agree or disagree with them, so leave a comment down below and do let us know.